Good evening. Vice President Sara Duterte says that former President Rodrigo Duterte, Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte, and Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte will run for senator in the 2025 elections. Here's Luisa Cabato with her report.
Vice President Sara Duterte says that former President Rodrigo Duterte, Davao 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte, and Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte will run for senator in the 2025 elections. The Vice President confirms that 3 Dutertes will run for Senate during an interview in Cagayan de Oro City.
Lahat sila raring na tumakbo Si PRD, Senator, yung kuya ko, si Paulo Duterte, yung congressman ngayon, senator, si Sebastian Duterte. Yes, tatlo ang Duterte next year.
Confirm na ba yan galing sa UVP? Or sa mama mo?
Confirmed yan.
Sara Duterte adds that Mayor Sebastian Duterte is also eyeing the presidential bid in the 2028 elections. This statement comes after Vice President's resignation as Chief of the Department of Education. Meanwhile, former President Rodrigo Duterte has recently been invited by lawmakers to attend the hearing of the House Committee on Human Rights. The former president is being asked to answer issues involving the alleged extrajudicial killings during his administration's war on drugs. Luisa Cabato, reporting for INQUIRER.net.
Vice President Sara Duterte maintains that she and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. remain friends despite her resignation from the Department of Education and as member of the President's cabinet. The Vice President's statement comes after she announced her resignation as Education Chief on June 19. Shortly after her resignation, Malacanang said that President Marcos accepted Duterte's resignation as Education Secretary and as member of the cabinet.
Sa tingin ko ay magkaibigan pa rin kami ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Duterte also says that becoming a part of the political opposition is not yet in the picture as her priority is the turnover of leadership in the Department of Education.
Wala akong pinag-usapan ngayon na politika. Ang prioridad natin ngayon ay malaman sino ang bagong Secretary ng Department of Education at ma-turn over natin at magkaroon ng maayos na transition from the old Secretary to the new Secretary of the Department of Education.
When asked for comment on calls that the next DepEd chief should come from the education sector, Duterte says there is no such requirement for the position. Duterte's resignation will be effective on July 19, 2024.
Depende na yan kasi the position of secretary is a position of trust and confidence ng una. Tsaka pangalawa, walang nakalagay na requirements para sa isang education secretary. In fact, dito sa Southeast Asia, kung makikita ninyo, hindi lahat ng mga education secretaries are from the education sector.
China Coast Guard's biggest vessel, dubbed as the Monster Ship, is now near Nido, Palawan, according to a West Philippine Sea monitor. According to Sea Light Director Ray Powell, the 12,000-ton China Coast Guard ship is spotted only 40 nautical miles away from Nido town as of 12:19 p.m. on Tuesday. Prior to this, the China Coast Guard ship passed by several maritime features of the Kalayaan Island group. Powell previously said this action is part of China's intrusive patrol. Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla earlier confirmed the presence of Beijing Coast Guard's biggest ship inside Manila's exclusive economic zone. According to Padilla, the presence of the China Coast Guard is part of a broader pattern of intrusive patrols aimed at asserting unlawful claims in the West Philippine Sea. Before approaching off Nido, Powell says the China Coast Guard ship was spotted near Ayungin Shoal on Monday morning and Escoda Shoal on Monday afternoon. Escoda Shoal serves as the rendezvous point for Filipino vessels carrying out resupply missions to naval troops stationed on BRP Sierra Madre, which has become one of the flashpoints of tension between Manila and Beijing. Beijing asserts sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, even if such a claim has been effectively invalidated by the arbitral award issued in July 2016. The Department of Foreign Affairs says it hopes that a bilateral consultation mechanism between Filipino officials and their Chinese counterparts be held in July to discuss China's recent aggression in the West Philippine Sea, particularly in Ayungin Shoal. During the Senate's hearing on the Ayungin Shoal incident on June 17, DFA Secretary Enrique Manalo says the Philippine government will continue to pursue a peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international laws.
And we have been working hard to bring back China to the table to talk with us to resolve differences on these issues. We have an existing mechanism with China. We call it the bilateral consultation mechanism on South China Sea.
Manalo emphasizes that the Philippine government is aware of the incidents that happened and their implications.
While we are seeking the approach for a peaceful resolution through international law, diplomacy, of course, we are not blind to the incidents which are happening, and we will ensure that whatever confidence-building measures we achieve, they will be not at the expense of the promotion of our sovereignty, sovereign rights, as well as our rights and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea.
Beijing's latest aggression in the Philippine waters transpired on June 17 when the China Coast Guard towed a Philippine vessel on its way to a resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre. The incident also resulted in a Philippine Navy personnel losing a finger. Lawmakers are inviting former President Rodrigo Duterte and Senator Ronald de la Rosa to attend the hearing of the House Committee on Human Rights on the alleged extrajudicial killings during the Duterte administration's drug war. During the committee hearing on Tuesday, June 25, Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Brosas moves to invite the two personalities central to the past administration's war against illegal drugs. The move comes after resource persons supporting alleged human rights victims like National Union of People's Lawyers Secretary General Cristina Conti previously said they believe Duterte is responsible for the killings and should be held accountable. Committee Chairperson and Manila 6th District Representative Bienvenido Abante Jr. approves the motion after it was seconded. Abante also asks drug war victims kin if they are ready to face Duterte, to which the resource persons say they are. The next hearing will be held on Wednesday, June 26. Duterte's presidency saw the death of thousands of dead drug war suspects, which many rights groups claimed were extrajudicial killings. De la Rosa was Duterte's first Philippine National Police chief. The Office of the Ombudsman denies suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go's motion to reconsider the preventive suspension imposed against her, as no compelling reason was presented to change the previous order. The Office of the Ombudsman maintains that the evidence presented against Go, Municipal Business Permits and Licensing Office Officer Edwin Ocampo, and Municipal Legal Officer Aden Sigua were strong at this point in time. Go was suspended for a period not exceeding 6 months after the Department of Interior and Local Government filed a grave misconduct, serious dishonesty, gross neglect of duty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service for allegedly allowing illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators to do business in Bamban. Despite the ruling being unfavorable to Go, the Office of the Ombudsman assures her that the order was not in any way a penalty, but a preventive measure to ensure that the investigation would not be hampered. Go has been recently on the hot seat after a Senate panel probing her alleged ties to the Pogo site eventually looked at her citizenship and the possibility that she is a Chinese asset or spy trained to infiltrate the Philippine government. However, Go denies the accusations against her. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.